Okay, I got a little bit time left this morning before I got to charge this phone up, and these are important things given everything that's being reported in the news, particularly about violence, burning cities down, and particularly as it relates to law enforcement, right? So I thought I would address that at least in my own perception, the way that I perceive it, based on all my experiences of what I've experienced since I came in here. Okay? And a sort of a sidebar to that, I will simply share with you that one of the things that I became aware of, which is myself, of things that I was doing just automatically without even thinking about it, when I was a child, was when all my circuits were up and running in this avatar that I jumped into, as I was collecting data at an enormous rate of speed, okay? Which essentially means that I'm absorbing all the energy of everything that I'm aware of that is happening all at once, okay, for me. And I realized that what I was doing is I'm measuring light. I'm measuring how much light is being lost and how much light is being gained. Or, if you will, what I call the speed at which energy is being lost, which is electrons, which basically means the speed or the rate of speed in which energy or electrons are being harvested here. Okay, why is that important? Why do you think it's important? Okay? We're measuring the rate at which we're losing what it is that we're aware of, which is what love is. Okay? That's why I came in here. There's this big science guy in me, even though I prefer to go surfing. Okay? There is a bear spirit in me because mama bears do protect everything that they love, which is what comes out of them, which is what life is, naturally, right? So I made a lot of notes to myself yesterday, what I call a trophy hunter. Most everybody knows what a trophy hunter is, right? It hurts me when they go and they shoot and kill an elephant, which is a beautiful mammal to me. Okay, actually, I realize that this, because of the way that I perceive the universe that I live in, right? The one that I use, the energy that I use to be who I am, that I communicate with the rest of the cosmos, which is one of the reasons why I had such a very, very difficult time here when you have such a deeply empathic part of who you are, which means I can't stand to experience anything suffer, okay? But because of what we call energy requirements, we have a predator-prey model in place. Like when a lion eats a zebra. Poor zebra. I'm the zebra. You're eating me. You need energy. I have a difficult time with that. Okay. And that's for everything here. Okay? So it's like, well, you got an energy consumer over here like a whack-a-mole. It's consuming energy over here, which is the receiver. I'm coming at you because I need your energy. Because the energy that represents what I am, which is what I'm aware of you. And I need your energy, so I gotta kill you. I need your energy, which is the protein and the rest of it, which is my requirements to maintain what it is I am in this equipment, which is a lion. Okay, so I have to process through my hopper. Okay? So, as Patty will tell you, yeah, but you don't die down here. This is just a simulation. Nothing's real. It's just a hologram. It's just information. It's all data-driven. Yeah. It's programmed. So you got programs here and programs there and programs here and programs there. How many simulators do you want to go jump into? Well, how creative is your imagination? So in this particular case, it's a classroom. So I realized, well, what are you? I'm spirit, and I am what love is. So I'm not a political system. Okay? I rejected the political system right out of the hopper, okay? Because I prefer to be left alone, which means don't molest my energy. If you want something from me, come up to me and ask me, hey, I need something. Chances are I'll give you whatever you need. That's a typical Indian. Okay? Because we already know that we're already provided for. She provides us with everything that we need. Okay? The biggest lesson that I had out of that was growing up in a family in which everything was provided for, because my dad, working as an aeronautical engineer, made enough electrons to be able to provide for what electrons are used for to purchase, okay, in which I lived in a house in a comfortable bed with climate control, right? And food was being provided and clothes was being provided for me, okay? But I was fortunate enough that my father threw me into a military academy and then into scouting and all the rest of this, right? Even though when you throw me out in the middle of the forest somewhere, I'm already going to know, because I'm with her, how all this works. So I'm naturally always going to want to be with her because I love her spirit. There's something very special for me, and I knew this at a very young age. You know, when I was like in third grade, you know, is always giving flowers to a girl to remind her what love is, which is reminding her that I know who she is and how much love I have to give her, which is the same love she gives me. And there's no conditions attached to it. It's a frequency of communication. We're both communicating on the same wavelength. That means we're tuned into the dial. Okay, on the stereo receiver and the transmitter. Okay, her and I are running the same powerful energy. So we both all have everything that we need already. Which means I don't need your energy, you don't need mine. No, but we're together because we love the essence of our energy. That's right. So we have a spiritual relationship with each other. So let's grow together spiritually by acquiring more knowledge in spirit through more light. Well, who's got the most light on the planet? The girl in the planet. Let's go be with her. So that's why the Indians and the tribes live differently than those do in boxes. Okay? Who go to work every day in cubicles to get electrons. So they're not learning from her how to be electron givers. Okay? Instead, they're learning how to consume things by acquiring more money to buy more things, all of which is being extracted from her in order to build the things that you live in, which are dead. Dead wood. Okay? Concrete, all the rest of that stuff. Right? So this is when we process the difference between what it means to live in the trees, which is living, because I'm living spirit, to be amongst everything that is living, instead of living in a house that is dead. So the difference in the experience between living in the trees and living in a box is not going to be the same. That's why when I was a child, I couldn't get out of that box fast enough to go back into the trees. So in 1972, when we got about 2 feet of snow on the ground up at Chileo, which was a hotshot crew I was working on, I had a friend of mine who was living in Hawaii, and he said, "Hey, the surfing is unbelievable over here on the island of Kauai. We're living in a treehouse." You're kidding. Wow, and he was sending me pictures. Hey, wow. Hey, I was on an airplane with a surfboard within 48 hours of coming out of 6,000 foot of mountain and 2 feet of snow on the ground. And so he picked me up at the airport in Aloha It, and as soon as I got there and I looked out, the intensity of the colors was like, man, I'm on another planet. Otherwise known as the flower garden, the garden isle. There's a lot of love on that island. Now, of course, this was 1972. So when we got there, this was a chunk of dirt that got donated to us, even though the planet, you know, with me, it's free. She gives us everything for free. This is one of the reasons why, as an Indian, I don't perceive the land, the soil, the earth as property, okay? I perceive it as energy, okay? The energy that she's given us, that we give back to her to be in waveform, harmony, and spirit with her. So we become the stewards and the groundkeepers here, okay? Because we want to maintain the peace and the harmony and the energy of the planet, which is why when they hurt her, they hurt us. I experience that pain. I experience all the pain of everything that gets destroyed, gets toxified, and gets destroyed because I'm measuring the amount of light that is being lost as a result of behavioral programming. It's put into memory. That represents garbage in, garbage out. That's input, output, data-driven programming. Okay? So these are universe killers. They're programming people to be universe killers. That's called going in reverse. So when you're with her, you're going forward in speed. Okay? So she's the teacher in this classroom. And she dismissed class, when was that? 2013. Graduation is pass or fail. Pass or fail is being an energy giver. So when you're an energy giver, I don't have to worry about you stealing my energy. Okay? Because that's how it works. Energy mechanics, celestial mechanics. Okay? Difference in waveform communication. Difference in density consciousness. High, low, high, low, high, low. Which one are you? You know, what is the waveform speed of what you're using to be who you are and communicate that energy to others? Now, when you throw into that hopper and then process all of the trauma that has happened here, and then throw into that data all the different genetics that are here and the result of hybrid programs, and that doesn't even include all the androids and the cyborgs and everything else that is here. It's a big zoo. But it all represents energy. So at the end of the day, we're restoring the light. And there is a lot of light in here. Okay? That's what it means. Is we've got a lot of energy givers in here. But I also happen to know that, you know, you got to do these things. And, you know, you don't want to rock the boat too hard, do we? Well, the way I look at it, and I knew is, hey, baby, you got to do whatever you got to do. This is your classroom. Okay, I'm fine with whatever you want to do. I get it. I understand it. I collected all the data. I experienced all this. So I do know what's going on. And I do why it's going to get restored. Okay, I mean, from a teacher and both a student perspective, I don't want my classroom wrecked as a student. And from a teacher's perspective, I don't want some predator coming into my classroom and ruining my school. So when I put it through a classroom and a teacher's and a student perspective, it hurts. It's deeply painful because the result of wrecking a classroom, okay? I could cry forever. You don't do these things. This is where students come to learn how to go faster so they can experience more of the light and experience all of the universe. Everything there is to experience is there for you to experience. You're not supposed to experience trauma here. You're supposed to experience what love is when you're here. We are the ambassadors of that energy here. That's why Hawaii was always a spiritual gem to me. That's what Aloha is. We welcome you with love. The breath of life, the essence of what love is. What they're doing in Hawaii right now is totally unacceptable. So I used to think a couple years ago, when is she going to blow Mauna Kea? And get rid of all these demons and these parasites that are feeding on each other. Go visit Honolulu. Now, if you're a material person and you have a lot of attachments, I guarantee you, if you don't have them well or locked down, they're going to be gone within a matter of minutes. You wouldn't believe all the stuff I lost over there. Actually, a lot of it got stolen. But you cannot be distracted for more than 3 seconds. Go ride a bus and you have a bag of anything. Next thing you know, you look around and it's gone. Where'd that go? Everything is fear-driven. Okay? So that you're in a lower frequency density consciousness. They don't want you up in a higher consciousness because they know there's a lot of light that came in here. And they lost. And I know that because I've already been on the other side of this. My future self always communicates to me in now time self what's happening in the future. That's called the event horizon. Anyway. Anyway, have a great day. I love you all. It does get better. Trust me. Love knows. Love is here, and a lot of it is in here. Okay? So be good to yourselves. Love your children. Please. It does get better. Okay? I love you all. Aloha.